ya, come on, dance ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better start be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we better start be coming. Nah, you are coming, man, yeah. We coming. We better start be coming. When the year is me checking you again, cause you go a we coming. We better start be coming. We coming.
And yes, this is the Bottom Line Liberia, the show that brings you information about Liberia and its people. And we do discuss the issue from top to bottom, leaving no stones unturned, and give our analysis and opinions. And it's left with you to believe what you hear and to absorb what you hear. And so tonight I have with me Paul the Lord Chilpe from the UK, and the two of us are going to be here tonight to discuss the issues as usual. And so, Paul, let me say welcome to you. It's good to see you here this evening.
Well, thank you, Linford. It's good to be back here for another edition of Bottom Line. And yes, I'm happy to be here. And good evening to our viewers as well. It's good to be back.
Okay. So viewers, we're going to be taking a little musical break while we share the video, and also you get settled. Probably you get your little glass of water and sit down for the next 1.5 hours to 2 hours as we do discuss the issues. And so bear with us as we bring you that little interlude of music. And Paul, I know our viewers, they are logging on as fast as they can, and we really appreciate that. So we're going to be having very interesting, we promise you tonight, we're going to have very interesting discussions. And so be a part of the discussions, and we're going to make it open mic. If you wish, you can call. In fact, we want you to call, because we want to hear your voices, we want to hear your views, we want to hear your own analysis of the issues that we do discuss here. So, Paul, if you have any music, take us down while we share the music, the show tonight.
Okay, so because we know the situation in Liberia, what will be this? Yeah, let's look at the most iconic musician we have our time, the Takunji, because this is a set of things that he preached in his music. So let's have a musical break and ask our viewer to kind of share the show.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not come up. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust. My people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they said they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With the promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and little on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us. So I said they lie.
Well. I mean, the message is clear in the music. They can lie, they betray us, they can steal. We call it corruption, but I think the right word here is steal. Paul, what do you think about that?
Man, I will say good evening to everybody and good afternoon to our viewers.
I'm sorry for dragging you fast.
Yeah. Welcome to Bottoland, Liberia. This is where we discuss serious matter. And yes, they lie to us. And that music is a serious music. Before we go into the music discussion, I will kind of ask our viewers, those are joining us for the first time, kind of share our show, like our page, and then whenever we come on, you get notification. We also on air at the moment is online radio 24/7. So yes, the music tell the story of what happening in Liberia. We elected people that lie to the citizen and they mean well. So Takunje was spot on in his music. And I think the music suit the occasion, especially tonight discussion.
Good. Well, you heard it from Paul. We are simultaneously on our online radio, and at the same time, we are on a couple of platforms. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. And so, if you are my friend, just go to my Facebook. You're going to watch it. If you are Paul's friend, you can go to Paul's Facebook, or you can stay on the bottom line Facebook. And we got it all over the place. And so it's good. And let's say hi to a couple of people here. Mary Masterquest, she's not on the show tonight. She's a very, very busy lady. As a businesswoman, she's always in something. So she's not on tonight, but she says hi to everybody. That includes you viewers as well. And as usual, we got our sister Chadena Brown Chilople. She's always there to support us. And for the host of you whose name I cannot see now to recognize, and if you're first time to be here with us, we let you say welcome. My name is Linford Goy, and there you see Paul the Lord Chilipwe from the UK. I'm in Norway. And Mona Clipper, I like this name, Clipper. Every time I see the name, I think about being in a real macho man Clipper. It's like some strong name, that crew name. Yeah, you go, or you can. Well, so Muna, I would like to say welcome to you. You always here, and share the video to your friends so that we can all have some funny, some fun with the discussions. Paul, we were here today. Is Tuesday. We were here on Friday, and it's gone Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 3 days in between. What's on your mind? What have been bothering you, or what have been making you happy?
Well, Linford, first of all, I would say I would thank the Almighty for having some life in me to be able to breathe and
That's good.
to to be able to have a discussion with you. And what really on my mind is my beloved country that in the hands of people who I don't think they are right for that country. And what happened yesterday at the university campus, that alone shows that the country is actually going the wrong way. And this guy called Acarious Gray, who come from my district, the district I was born in, somebody who used to fishing down the river there, you to play marble for Weah to leave his hand or and today to do what he's doing. It's just something I don't know. I can't comprehend what I saw yesterday. So that event playing on my mind. And what about you?
Well, that's good. You see, you and I have some similarities, especially when it comes from where we grew up. I grew up practically on every campus, so to speak, because I grew up in Warming. I described my place to you the last time. You know it very well. So it was just a stone throw from there to the UL campus. And I have a very long history with most of the boys from Charlestown, where you grew up as well, and you know most of the people that I know very personally. And so, growing up in that particular area, you know what we did as kids. The University of Liberia campus was a place where we frequented, and so when I heard that Acarious was going on the campus yesterday, and in fact, I read that thing 2 days before he went, and it was a lot of mixed reactions. So we'll be talking about this, but we're just talking about what's bothering our mind. My master, I was being bothered. Why? Because I started to remember the Great Allison and Doe scenario, where Doe gives the ultimatum: move or be removed. And I was on the campus that day. At the time, I was staying in high school. I was not actually attending the university, but I was on the campus because we usually used to go there to play pool in a cafeteria there in the student center, and then and I learned to play ton as well. All the people playing with there, and a lot of things, to the point where when we entered the university, when I started going to the university, it was like I was there already for many years, because I mean this is practically where we grew up. We were on the basketball court playing. So I tried to imagine that Great Allison scenario, how the university was invaded by students. So I started to think, are the students going to be jumping down that cliff, down Charlatan again, or what's going to be happening? So those are. I think you and I were thinking similarly, probably given our background that we grew up in that particular vicinity. So that's really something that bothered me, and I religiously follow all of the network that were covering that thing. I saw almost all of the different videos. Even today at work, I listened to almost all the videos. I watched them, and I felt so bad, But we'll be talking about it. So that's just what was on my mind, and it still bothers me up to today. You are meter
No,
boy.
Linford, you're right, because I remember when we were kids in that area, we used to go on the university campus to pick plum. Apart
Mr.
from
Walker,
picking, yeah,
Mr. Walker will chase us.
yeah, apart from picking plum, when they built the basketball court over there,
Yeah,
every
multi-purpose court.
evening that's where we were playing, and then after that, it was just a peaceful place to go, relax.
Seriously, no.
Yeah, and on a Sunday evening, if you have nothing to do, you walk in a little park there where they have a tournament. I mean, JJ Rob movement tournament. You go
Yeah.
and read. So it just remind me. And remember when Doe did that thing with Grady Allison, move or be removed. I have just come from class. I won the campus that day. You know what they have the bus stop. And the
Mm-hmm.
early students, those days, they have some kind of casting, and that casting said I was do casting.
Mm-hmm.
And something just came to me, said, look, go home because I was hungry. The moment I left the campus, head to scatter, people were coming down that cliff. Yeah, so that's what happened yesterday. Just brought back that bad memories again.
Seriously, that's what
Yeah,
was
yeah,
bothering me. I started thinking, so what's going to happen? Especially following Spoon, and there were two group of reporters from Spoon, one placed at the University of Liberia, and the other group followed Acarious Gray. And I think let's just go into our discussion. So,
yeah,
viewers, you know exactly what happened yesterday. We don't need to give you the beginning of the story, but we'll delve into some of it. It was a long story. Uh, this thing was built up. Paul, do you remember a couple of weeks back? Serena Cephas. Okay, let's start with Joel Howard Taylor. The list goes down, even to Samuel Tuer. At a certain point, they were on the University of Liberia campus, and they met stiff resistance from the students. And Joel Howard Taylor, being the second in command in the country, the same thing happened to her. She
yeah,
did not regroup to move men to the university campus. She left respectfully because why? She knows the status, the status quo. The University of Liberia has been, especially with the politics, it has been the bedrock of all confusions in Liberia. Not that the students make confusion, but because they see things from different perspectives, uh, as compared to the particular ruling establishment at the time, they will always have conflict. I remember my own friend and brother and schoolmate and workmate, Aaron Colley, along with a group of students like the likes of, uh, all the guys. They were supposed to be executed by a door. And then he had to get there and second clemency. So the list, and we grew up because I think SUP was established in 1970, 71 or 72. At the time, I was a boy, a small boy. So I don't remember until when we started following, then we got to know that there was something called SUP. And it has always been a counterproductive element against government, all governments, to set the record straight.
yeah,
Now, listen to my choice of words. I'm not saying that SUP people are bad element, but they counter the establishment that be at the time, at a particular time. So, I think Nigerian people will either be discouraged if SUP and all other student groups at the university will not put pressure on any government account. They will either, I think Liberian people will be discouraged or disappointed in the student population. So this has been a tradition. And like I said, the current wave of chasing government officials off the campus of the University of Liberia, especially on the main campus, it was not something new. Joe Howard Taylor experiences Samuel Tuer many times. Serena Sifo was one of the latest casualty. And then Kim Boy, Aloysius Howe, who is not even a prominent government official, who is just a civil servant, so to speak, in the government. He was chased out and he cried foul. I read most of his comments and accusations that his car was broken and he was beaten. He was at the hospital. I personally even made a comment. Are you now saying that this country is unsafe, that security is not there? Because if this thing happened to other person in one Yakpaulo, they will say, oh no, the country is safe, you're just making people or you're just crying the opposition. So I made a comment on his post. Now, On fourth night after this thing happened, Acarious Gray vowed to move men, or not to move men from the initial stage. He said he was going on the campus, and the students said he should not go there. Then he said he's going there to have a lunch with them. Lunch? Okay, take it for face value that he was going to have lunch with them, even though there were interventions from different groups. But he still decided that he was going. But what really orchestrated this thing is that if you, Paul, coming to my house to have lunch, then I see you bringing group of men, muscle men with stakes in their hand. What type of lunch are you going to have with me? Do you need muscle men to come to come and lift the spoon or the fork or the knife? Do you need people with steak and platoons to come to my house for lunch? Talk to me.
Linford, you know, the situation in Liberia today as we speak, the country is lawless country. Acarious Gray is the sitting lawmaker for that particular district where the university is located, right? Acarious Gray, as a sitting lawmaker, if he want to have lunch with the student, he can invite them. Right across the road to the Capitol building. That would I want the leaders of these students to find out what's going on. Y'all come and have lunch with me. You cannot say you're going for lunch and you go down Sony Way, grab all the Zoko to follow you. What sort of lunch you going to have? And you go with machete with sticks and rocks. So what sort of lunch is that? Is that lunch to go kill people, children? Is that a lunch? He was not going for a lunch. He went there for a purpose. And they went there to teach the children lesson. That's what he went for. Because history repeats itself. He went there as what happened in the 1980 when Doe told Grady Allison to do something with those children. And Grady Allison gave a command, move or be removed. So it's the same thing now, history repeating itself. And then coincidentally, another Gray. There was Grady Allison, then another Gray again. So what does history tell us? I mean, are we forgetting that when that happened, the government never came to any kind of stability until he was booted out? Ugosha memory in Liberia is a senior student.
And that's a good point you just raised. You know, besides the University of Liberia, right? Or besides Liberia, most parts of the world, student politics is the beginning of the political system. Is a nurturing ground for politics, for national politics. Because imagine that people go to school, sit down in the classroom and just learn our ABC, do the math and the sciences and whatever, and graduate. And you don't practice politics. You don't exercise political activities. And then one day you become president, you will be more like George Weah. You wouldn't know where to start from. You wouldn't know where to go to. And history, our own history will tell us that most of the people who are in government today, they pass through the University of Liberia or other universities, but have some student political activities under their bed or under their arms, okay, in their CV. They will add up being active in student politics on the University of Liberia campus or wherever, Cottington or wherever they came from. I mean, look at the Tupanati Pute, look at the Late Barker Matthews, look at all the names we had in politics in Liberia. Where did they come from? University of Liberia. Before somebody traveled to the United States. Okay, so student politics is something that people practice the same way the medical students are AM Doctor University before they go to practice medicine. Where do being doctors or whatever? Where do they practice? At the hospitals.
That's right.
Okay, so if you got politicians that will run the country tomorrow, where do you expect them to practice? Oh yeah, you should send them to Bongonima to go practice on the farm, right? As politicians? No. They have to practice at the University of Liberia. Then when government begin to clamp down on political activities at the University of Liberia or in a higher institution of learning in the country, it raises concern because that means that you want to silence political activities. And you do in politics, there is not just possible that everybody will agree with everybody. No, it's not possible. It is not possible. If you do, I'm not a student of political science, but I've been following politics. Okay, I know that in politics, even two brothers, husband and wife, will not agree. I mean, I got brothers. I got brothers that work directly with George Weah. I mean, directly with him. If I want to know what he's wearing today, what he ate today, they will tell me. Okay, and we do agree on policy. Okay, they are on that side with George Weah. I'm on the other side. But what we are still brothers. Okay, so for government to begin to clamp down and then use all other tactics to try to
But Linford, this what you're saying is right. Something here that really, when I refer to Doe and Grady Allison,
mm,
this incident happened yesterday. Children were beaten, they got hurt.
mm.
Both sides. Thing that instigated by Acarious Gray. The CDC-led government, the CDC party itself, while up to now they have not called Acarious Gray or to take some sort of action for what he did yesterday. Have the president spoken on this?
As for the president, I doubt it 100%.
Right.
Maybe
So,
99%. I
so,
doubt it that he would not speak.
so usually when a father of a nation, when you in a house, you have kids, and then the kids fighting, you hearing the noise and you refuse to talk, it means you didn't do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So when I said do, I'm referring to Weah now is the new do. That telling Carlos will go on the campus there and deal with those children. Because if he cannot speak out, although he called the people that elected him, he called a speech from them. And look at this other thing, that election time, election year,
Oh.
and this is happening. Are they telling us that this is what's going to happen from now until people cast their ballot? Is that what's going to happen?
That's a good question. And if I was to comment on that or give my input on that question, I would say there is something called um diversionary tactic. They know that they're going to lose the election, right? So they look for something to divert the whole conversation from the election. You remember the story about Wisari, our pastor Gerald is not here tonight. He was going to give us that story correctly. But there's a famous story about two women in a Bible that had this confusion over the child, and they took the case to a court with the wise men and the king, and sitting. And then when the wise man and the king, when they all hung head, they said, well, uh, this child, we don't know who the rightful parent is. But what we'll do is we'll give you ultimatum. We want to cut the child into pieces, 2 pieces, right? So that each of you will have, because since we don't know who is the rightful mother, so that each of you will have 1 piece. Then the woman who is not the rightful mother of the child said, yes, that's the best thing. You'll call the child. Then the rightful mother cried and said, no, this is my child. I wouldn't want to see my child being cut into pieces. So if you're like, you can take a childhood and give it to this woman, but I know this is my child. And then the wise men, along with the king, they said, yes, now we know who the rightful mother of the child is. You see? So I say this to apply to what the government is doing. The government the government knows exactly that it cannot win. Georgia government knows it cannot win the election. They have done their calculation. So what they want to do, they want to create small confusion putting it the real Liberian way. They want to create small grumble everywhere, and as a bait to draw in the citizenry or the opposition. Because when this kind of thing started to happen, the opposition might be tempted to want to talk, to want to take steps, and then they will engage the opposition, or it will flare up to something that we do expect. And then they will say, okay, yeah, state of emergency, it's not possible to have the election, so we'll postpone the election and whatever. Okay, so I think this is time for Liberian people or the opposition to show real maturity and in handling this case. they should show real maturity. They shouldn't go down the drum beat of the government. Because when they do it, no, and you got to look at the background of this government, right? This is a government that held over 100 and some more, over 150 protests just in 12 years.
Yeah.
Huh? So we know where they came from. Even as a government, they won the election. As a government, they stay in protest mode. I mean, this is the first government I've seen in my life that won election. Instead of them governing, they started to attack opposition. The same citizens that voted for them, they started to attack them from day one. They used to have the special abusing squad, causing squad for Weah. That causing squad, then it was there. Then they had the Weah defense force. They had all the kind of funny small group. Okay, I mean, you fight for the post to rule the people, and these people that you're going to be ruling if you became president at that time or government at that time, they are not people whose minds you control. They're the whole nation.
Yeah.
And then when you won, instead of trying to unite the people, you divided the country. The president has divided the country. He only pays loyalty to the people he calls seditious, and besides, not even all seditions. As we can see clearly, we got disgruntled seditions. Ministers that were in the government, they are all disgruntled, that left the government, that were dismissed. They are all disgruntled. In fact, fighting against the very establishment. So this government knows that it's not going anywhere. We all know that he's not going anywhere. So whatever happens, they will do it and do it the other way and chakla it, put it like wrong way. Let it pour for everybody. So the parable in that Bible, that's parable about the woman or the two women with the child. This is it. Right now, the opposition know that they got the right. What can I say? The opposition has the upper hand, so they should handle everything that this government will do. They should handle it with care. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, put pressure, but let them be careful in what they do, because this government is not looking for a small way. I mean, like a man like Acarious, a lawmaker, moving on the university. You know what danger that spell? What if the boss at the University of Labrador have overpowered him and taken him into captive or even harm him? Because he went in harm's way. The fact that he carried people on behind him, group, if you want to have lunch with the people, you are an honorable man, walk to the campus alone with maybe you are 1 or 2 security. If the students do anything, the state security is there. We got police, we got the army. They can come into your defense. But you carry your own man that they even overpower the police people at the gate. They force the gate open and walk in with stakes and patrols. So he had different intention.
Yep. Definitely, he had different intention because, I mean, let's show some when you guys were marching through.
Yeah, I think it would be important.
It would be good because let me see what we can show this, because this is disturbing. Therefore, it's really disturbing. You can't behave like that as a sitting lawmaker. Let's see. This is, you want to have lunch with the student. According to him, you're going to have lunch. So if you're going to have lunch with people, will you carry thoughts behind you to go have lunch with them? Let's look at this clip. I think it's this one here. Let's look at this.
Yes, we want to appreciate our viewers for sharing the video. Continue to share this video. The song in the background says, "No Zico, Zico is here." It is coming from these men, these able-bodied men. You can't be in the center of people. So we will run to show you how the main entry looks like. They're saying they will enter. So this is the place. You see police here, staffers of the legislature. This is the main scene. This is the main scene. I don't know what's going to happen here. I just don't know how it's going to happen. So the movie. man. Rocks, firing objects, the pass. Stones, 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 firing materials, car windshields. I'm very sorry. Wow.
So, Linford, if you see the chaotic scene over there yesterday, is something that should worry everyone. This is the guy that was going to have lunch with the student. You're going to have lunch with the student. Look at there are hundreds of those. He called and said, "Well-built-bodied men going on the campus to do what? Is that lunch they were going for? They want to cause mayhem for the people, for those
You know,
students."
you know, um, Paul, I don't know. There is God or nature, because a lot of people do not believe in God, but I believe in God, and I will use the word God, the name God. God has a special way of doing things that men cannot do easily. Now, this government, everybody in Liberia has been crying on the name of this government. People have been thinking, how can we get these guys off our back? Opposition, you come together. You do this. People have tried, but this government continues to do. People have talked. They've done everything. They've said everything. This government continues to do the same thing or even worse. And as election is coming, people are even worried. Are these guys actually going to go away? But on a daily basis, these people in this government are shooting themselves in the feet or in the head every day. And that if the Liberian people are careful, they're supposed to look at all of these things and say, look, listen, this is not the people, or these are not the people that we should settle for the second term. These are not the people that we should give our country to at this time. I mean, for 12 years. People cry about Ellen's 12 years. Then you see another monstrous government, a failed government, a government that does not care for its citizens. The president would not talk to his people. And you want to give them second term? I mean, it's like you're taking yourself to the gallows to be hanged. Because it doesn't make sense that anybody in their right mind who feels the pains from the hunger, the mismanagement, the bad governance, and you just name it, and they will say, well, I will settle for this government. Then something has to be wrong with you. Something is inherently wrong with you. So these people continue to shoot themselves in the feet or in the head every day. How can a certain lawmaker, and let's put it this way. What if Acarious had walked on the campus and then this group of people follow him? Afterwards, we'll say, oh yeah, they came on their own. We'll say, well, they heard that Gray was going there, so they went there. But Gray assembled these people and walked with them from his nursery as I followed the videos throughout. Okay? He assembled the people at his nursery house in Cinco, and he walked, he marched with them. And as we were coming, he was on the phone calling, because the journalists were commenting that he's on the phone constantly. And as we were coming, the group was Johnny. By the time they got to Natural gas station, it used to be Brunel, yeah. Now it's Natural gas station right after the Pastor Community Rail, like coming to Early Camper Way, right there. Then the crowd got swollen up, and then Acarious was even way in the middle, according to the commentator. So you see, these people have already told us that we cannot govern you people. Poor man, I'm out of word. Yeah, because I told you I grew up on a Papa, so we live in the heart of city. I mean, in the heart of the government. Yeah, from there to the mansion, from there to the Capitol building. Imagine Richard A. Henry's. Yeah, Imagine those days. If you just see the car, they are REP.
But Linford, you gone far.
Man,
These people have been saying that, they've been bringing this thing about country and conquer divide, and year in year out they have been preaching. Our colors green are me and you. We come from the same one way area there.
Mm-hmm.
If you come from one way area, you know where you come from. Complete slum community. If somebody who from a complete slum community, who we are lifted him for people to put him up there, all these things that we saw when we were small, Carlos Graydon saw the same thing. He's not a child. So these guys came to power for one thing, and because they're losing grip, they're going beyond to do everything in their power to beat people up. Imagine these people will be elected again.
I would differ with you, Paul. I would differ
Yeah,
with
you
you.
must differ with me because the mindset of the people. Look at those young, able people that are fighting at Carlos Gray. What do they get from out of him?
But let me tell you something. Like I told you, I listened to the video, right? This morning, I listened to one particular video. And group of these guys that follow Gray, they were around the spoon talk guy who was doing the commentary. Apparently, they didn't know the guy was still recording or what. And I heard one or two of them in conversation. One of them plainly said, he said, "Mama, I'll do my different nipple. You call me to come." Then the other guy asking, "But what he cost my nipple?" But when the other man said, "I mean, auntie, that man coming." But we are waiting right after that. Let's see what we'll do. Then we'll go. You see it?
Oh,
So
wow.
these are people that were just plucked by the wayside, and they were paid. I mean, you could even see the University of Liberia campus. Students are students. If anybody is coming to kill students on that campus, God forbid, they will not say who is soup, who is when they all agree together, some group they call PROSA. Okay? PROSA, some new group that were in favor of Akara Gray. They didn't want to welcome him. Okay? So if anybody is coming with the intention of killing students, they will not say, okay, all the profile people are passo, all the soup people passo, all the party people passo. No. Okay? If anybody throws grenade or bomb on that campus, it will kill anybody that is in range. So you can't see your friends in the struggle, and then you say you prosa and you welcome me. So you see, on the campus itself, they are divided. And that division comes about because people in Akara Gray want to fuse, they want to fuel the confusion. They take one particular group and say, okay, you support us against the other group. And the students should stay as one group. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, you're right. But what happened here is you can look at it this way too. The other group, like they call it, I think Student, there might be their name, Student. Yeah, that group is pro Jefferson Kochi group. That the Carlos Gray group. That is Samuel Tour group. That's the group that they been financed over there to cause trouble on the main campus.
Yeah, but
So
this other one yesterday is PROSA, PROSA.
another group. Okay, so
yeah,
that's another sponsor group.
yeah, that one was established on Fender campus, according to
Yeah.
the
So
commentary.
it's another sponsor group. Now, the funny thing here is the state police were there when this group were coming, and they saw the violence. Why they could not stop Carlos Gray and his men? It tells us that Carlos Gray is above the law. The police saw violence going. It was going to. It meant there was violence. It was going to happen. They saw a group of people coming with machete, with sticks, and all that. They saw that coming and going to meet a group of students are waiting. Why the police could not stop that?
But were you surprised at all?
I'm not surprised.
Okay, this is the same police that will stand by and see Walter Susulu, or I know Susulu or Sisulu, that boy that was badly beaten at the American embassy. The police will stand by and even be smiling or laughing. Some of them doing video. Why the Koji group that is called the COP, CDC COP,
Yeah,
brutalized and beat or another person. almost
But
dead.
no, in this case, these police were they were in their gear. They were riot police that were stationed over there. They went there purposely for this incident, and they saw a group of. That man say he's going to have lunch. He's going to have lunch. That's fine. But this guy who's going to have lunch had now captured, yeah, the whole of how they call it a non-street. Get all the thoughts from there coming. That's violence, and they see they could have stopped it. But the fact is that they refuse to stop it. So this means,
I was just giving scenarios where it means police has stood by idly and see people being brutalized. The same police.
So what?
Gloria Musu's cat says she was threatened. She went to the Justice Ministry and reported a case. She went to the police station, reported a case. Police people say, okay, we'll step up our security around your area. According to them, because if you step up security somewhere, that means you are concentrating certain amount of men, especially at the trouble spot. And a day after, according to them, they step up their operations at Gloria Musu's car's place. It was the same day that her daughter was allegedly, or somebody allegedly entered the house and harmed the two kids, and one of them died. See, so this police they have a record. They have a record of not arresting the situation before it happens, and they also have a record of not even concluding any investigation. Because in recent time, I can't recall any time that this police have, under George Weah, concluded any investigation. All other investigations that they have gone on is still hanging. You want to know example?
No, but the thing is I we know that they don't conclude investigation. But the fact is that why did they gather there in the first place? So were they tipped off that it was going to be violence because Acarious we were bringing people?
Then I will ask the same question. Why is it when Gloria Musu's car people were calling the police to come, why I say it took them so long to go when their presence were there? So you see, I'm trying to relate.
No. That's a different. No, this scenario is different. Gloria Musu's car said people threatening her life. The police said they were patrolling, but on this incident, the police they sent riot police. Not one person. The one at the American embassy, you could see one or two police officers, but this one. They sent riot police that were not one. They were over 50 of them there with their riot gears. So they knew when they tape off that Acarious Gray is coming, he's going to bring his thoughts. They're going to beat these students. You get prepared to be there. That's what they went there for. Because what the purpose of them going there?
Yeah, but the good thing here is
they were already stationed.
Yeah, the good thing here is that the police did not take part in the whole thing. So the point I'm trying to let you know is that this police, their history is that whether they are present, whether you go in the police station, somebody grab you inside the police station and beating you and killing you, they will not do anything.
Granted, but my concern here is nobody called them. The student did not call them. The student was on their campus, right? The Acarious Gray who said he's going to have lunch with these people, were they police tape that there will be violence, so go and station there and just watch? Because they were not called, they were pressing when nothing happened. They were already stationed hours before the Acarious Gray marched in. So were they tape on? Were they move or to be removed situation?
That's a good question. But again, I would say extend my point that this police is there are people who do not do anything, even at the police station. Paul, if somebody threatening to beat you or to hurt you at the police station, why are you there? Run away. Do not say police here. They will not do anything.
I agree. So what I'm saying, these people were sent to go and help Acarious Gray to beat the student. That's the point I'm driving at. So what the point of you going
could be for me, I'm just looking at our general characteristics, because the general characteristics that everybody know is that they do not conclude any investigation. Even if they are present and somebody is killing somebody, they will not do anything. So in other words, they are incompetent, they are inactive, they do not even deserve to be called police. Because listen, police in the Western world, they have established their power to the point where you can feel their presence. I mean, you and I know when we're driving on the road, even if the police car break down in parking, police car, you see it, you apply a bracelet, okay? So the people have accepted themselves to the point where, I mean, just last year I had 2 confrontations with the police. Somewhere I was coming from somewhere, somebody was driving slowly in front of me. I overtook a person. The person called the police and informed me that I was driving fast. And I don't know, probably they put me on the GPS, I don't know, on the radar. So I came. The moment I was driving to my house, I saw the police people in the private car right behind me to my house. Right as soon as I parked the park, they said, we got information you're running. And I couldn't deny, so I asked the guy, but who told you? He said, no, I can't tell you who told you. You see? So, and I told him, well, I told somebody, I know it's the person who called you. Okay, so I know the police have established their strength here, so we know. So you can't even think about doing those. So in Liberia, the police, what we have in Liberia is not the police.
About normal country.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you.
You're talking about normal country. But Liberia is not a normal country, it's a lawless country.
Yeah, you are saying the same thing. I'm telling you, if somebody attacks you in Liberia,
I agree with what you said. This police were not called. This police sent by the highest up to go help Acarious to beat the student because they were not there for nothing.
Yeah, but let's give it to them. They did not participate in it. So we can't say
they did. They were throwing stones as well.
The police were throwing stones?
The police threw stones. So that's what I'm asking. What the purpose? They saw a group of men coming.
But why would the police throw stones when they have baton, when they have tear gas and all that things?
And the police, even the head of guard, the police and that guy was dragged to the police station instead of them taking that person to the hospital. So my point here, were the police sent to do the Grady Allison thing that happened in the 80s? Because they didn't go to stop, they're not peace. So I'm kind of, why the purpose of the police being there?
Yeah, and the reason why you are asking all the questions are understand, Paul. In the absence of proper explanation from the proper authorities, people like you, me, and the rest of, in fact, the 4.5 million or the 5 million, what different sense of resources, because I don't want to continue to say 4.5 million. So the entire citizens will have different conspiracy theories in the absence of proper explanation by the proper authority. Why was the police sent? Why didn't the police act? Those are questions that we'll be asking, and people will build theories around those questions. And like you do it now, you have the right to think that way, that these police were sent to just come and participate or guide Acarious against any attack, but they will be aggressive against the students. People will come out with different conspiracy theories in the absence of proper, redress from the authorities. And I will agree with anybody who would think like you, Paul, because why? In the first place, the police should be there to see danger, and when they see danger, they should be the one to arrest the danger before it happens.
Exactly.
Okay, so if they will stand there and see Acarious Gray, who was supposed to go have lunch, he doesn't have people carry food behind him, or he had not ordered food from. In fact,
exactly,
all the restaurants, all the canteens, all any campus were closed before he even arrived. This is one thing again.
So the food they were carrying, that was steaks, that were machetes.
So
and the police saw that coming.
A man who was coming to have lunch, bringing huge men, well-built men coming along with him, and they didn't take action. So anybody can think the way you are thinking. Anybody can come to certain conclusions based on what they saw. So if you have another video, maybe you can roll it and we can.
No, the thing is, I wanted to refer us to something different though, because what happened here, this situation in Liberia is ongoing situation. Remember, the same student went at the American embassy, and this same group of thugs that were behind Acarious Gray, they were there again. You see, look, I just want you to look at this picture here. You remember this guy? These were the guys that beat all that guy. The how they call it, the little bear at the American embassy.
Water.
These are the guys. Today, You see them? They carry stick along with them. These are the same body guys that Acarious will have with him. So what does this tell you about this George Weah government? These are the thoughts that they're carrying around, harassing people, beating up people, and nothing coming out of this. You see, what is wrong with Liberia?
Okay.
You just
Then I think I don't know, probably we need to put out the number there so that people can call. Let me see if we can find the number here so that probably some people want to make their contribution. So let's hear the people. The numbers you can call are on the screen there. The thing here is who the biggest question that anybody will ask, because I heard the Yeke Koluba part of it, where Yeke also took men, even though he meant when they got there, and that group that Yeke carried was almost 2 times or 3 times the size of Acarious Grace number. So what if they have met? What if those two groups have met? But that's another issue. They didn't meet, so nobody can give the outcome. What if they are met? We can only suspect or insinuate. But the main question right now is what happened at the University of Liberia campus yesterday? Who's to blame? If you want to if you were to make a judgment here, who you think should take the blame?
the lawmaker should take the blame. The lawmaker decided to bring thoughts, say he's going to have lunch with the student on wet ground. The lawmaker over there, you remember, I think the lawmaker they have the thing with the with the university that you can even engage them and request a visit to go to the university. Now, with Acarious Gray, who is a city lawmaker, and he said, well, the thing's not going well at that university. Let me meet these students and have a conversation with these students. Having conversation with these students, maybe we can meet at the Capitol building, or let's have a dialogue. I will come there. Why he could not go himself to meet those students? You're going to have lunch. That's what normal person will do. Meet them, walk there from the Capitol building, your office just there, walk across the road. Let have a conversation. Or get those people to bring Kara around, distribute your money, student, you sit down and talk. But you organize something from your house and you got a lot of thoughts where you say you're going to have lunch. So he started it, he went there for a purpose to harm the people, children. So I don't know how you see it.
Well, and the reason why I asked you that question is that a lot of people are blaming the students for saying that government officials should not go on the campus, and it is also the right of the students to say, well, we don't want to see. I mean, people have rights in Liberia. People can say, well, I don't want to see you. If I say I'm coming to your house, you can tell me, say you don't want to see me, okay? And so if the students say they don't want to see this man, they don't want to have the lunch with him, and he forced her to go. So why are people blaming the students? You see?
They can't blame the student. The student didn't say they're going to Capitol building to go have lunch with Acarious Gray. He decided to go have lunch with them. And why are you there, link for? Send a link to Gerard if we can get him onto the show too, because this is something is not right. You can't say you're going to have lunch with people and then you carry a lot of toss with you with machete, with sticks and all that. They carry rocks in the bag. So what kind of Liberia is this? We need a better Liberia, man. This is we're in the 21st century. This is not 1980s. And remember too, everybody today have smartphone. When something happen, it spread all over the world, the wildfire. And also, there were people from the State Department that visited Liberia yesterday. They have just arrived in Liberia when this thing happened. And this country, we're talking about people creating jobs. They want investors to come to Liberia and all this. So I want to say to our audience here, if there's vacancy in Liberia, and this vacancy is called rock throwing, it's plenty. If you're looking for a job to throw rocks, just move to Liberia. That's the new job that George Weah government have created. They call it stone throwing. That's the position. Leave, I don't know what you think. Send the detail to Gerald if he can join us because this thing is really pinning me.
Um, um, let me tell you one thing. I told you, God has His own way of doing things, and that's why Frenchmen say, "L'homme disposé, l'homme proposé, Dieu disposé." A long time French I learned. Man proposes and God disposes. We've been thinking how to get rid of this government, but the government is getting rid of itself gradually. Tell me, who's going to be, and remember that district number 8 is where the University of Liberia is situated. Gerald, I just sent you the
Exactly.
link. Probably you can come and join us if you have the time. So, and most of those students at the University of Liberia, or the students, they live in district number 8. They got brothers, they got sisters, they got girlfriends, they got fathers, they got mothers who are all people of voting ages. Very good. And then you move on the campus with your own men with stake to go and kill those same people. Because if somebody is bringing stake to you, man, fight. If you engage in a fight with a stake, you don't know what's going to happen to you. Your head could get busted up or bruised up, or your eye, something, your hand broken or something. And then you think those people will vote for an Acarious Gray in the elections? Tell me. Or my brother who is way in somewhere Bonkonima, who wants to come to the University of Liberia, and he see that a lawmaker whose district that university is situated in is treating the students like that. You think he will vote for him? No. So
Well,
they go digging their own graves.
yeah, but this is what happened. Well, the digging their own grave. I agree with you, but there's something happened yesterday. Two persons from State Department, the anti-corruption from the United States, went to Liberia yesterday.
Mhm.
Two,
Yeah.
two. They were
And
on the
even the
ground.
election, I think the election monitors or election people
No,
from
this
the
one, no, the election monitor, that story that 200 is not the U.S. embassy release a statement say it's not true, but they
okay,
will how they call it, invest into the election
invest in
thing.
the election.
But they can
Me,
confirm that the task force director was in Liberia. Anti-corruption people were in Liberia. The people from USIA were in Liberia when it thing happened yesterday. They gone there to invest. They are top officials in Liberia to investigate the corrupt government. And this happened yesterday. So what you see, looking at what have been happening in Liberia when they say people don't want to go to Liberia to invest, is exactly what Carlos Gray did yesterday. And people like Carlos Gray, I tell you, he could be the one to cause, if we are to be re-elected, Carlos Gray has done we are the best favor to make people not to vote for Weah. This is what I'm saying.
and I
Because
understand he's also on a board of the University of Liberia.
exactly, he's on a board. So he got that visitation that he can request to go visit the university and meet the student. If the student not happy, Carlos Gray, as a sitting lawmaker, have the right to engage the student leadership. Look, you come across the Capitol building, let's have a dialogue. He can do that. This guy provoked something yesterday that could. If Yake Koluba, you mentioned in Yake Koluba, if Yake Koluba Uno group were going to meet yesterday, the whole of Morofia are going to be upside down. What could that? I mean, think on this carefully. Today will not
But,
be. It are going to be something different.
but I just want to ask you this question. I mean, let me get through it all like this. So, what do you think? Acarious Gray actually thought the outcome of this was going to be that, he would get walking on the campus and then with his men, and then they start to beat the boys, or what did he really think about? Just try
Well,
to figure out something.
no. The thing is that I refer back to the Grady Allison incident. The military people entered the camp, what they did, they started beating our students. So that's the same mentality at Carlos Ray one way. They want to beat those students. That's what they are the intent. So if you go in there, say if you go in there to have a dialogue, why will you carry people behind with machete, with sticks, with rocks? Why? What they intend? You're going to meet somebody. Acarious will have a security. They still providing security. He can just drive there with his security and say, look, I want to have a dialogue with you guys. Why would he organize thoughts? What would they intend to beat them up? To cause them serious mayhem. That's what he went for. So Bieke Koluba on the other side that went in there, if they were going to meet, tell me. It was going to be bloody. Because Yeke Koluba group will not sit down, people chose to at them and they will not retaliate. Moreover, are going to be all sat down yesterday. Because this guy, they are the ruling party.
So
Why
was
is it?
was Yeke, in your own opinion, was Yeke right to also carry a group?
But this is the danger of the whole thing. You see, this is where they trying to, the two representative trying to show who have the muscle. You see?
Well, the question I ask you, if I should answer it myself, I would say, even though two wrongs do not make right,
Exactly.
but there is something called necessary evil, right? Necessary evil. It's not good to kill. Let me give you this analogy. It's not good to kill. But you see, somebody take gun and just start shooting people all around the place. And even USA is standing there. But the only way you can get rid of this guy is USA got your late pistol. You can shoot this guy to stop him killing hundreds and thousands of people. What will you do? Will you stand and say, well, the power say thou shalt not kill, so the man is already committing a crime, thou shalt not kill, and he's doing it. So you can shoot this guy down. So that's necessary.
So Linford, Carlos Gray went on the campus where? And
yeah, that's the point I'm making now. So because somewhere I heard people say Yeke was not supposed to carry people there. Two wrongs can be right. So I'm just trying to make that point. So Yeke went as a redeemer because Yeke went to, when Yeke arrived in the campus was totally deserted. Everybody ran away. Okay, but when Yeke appeared, then people now saw that there was hope. They started to come back. That's when the students started. So that was necessary evil, even though it was not right for him to carry people.
That was necessary evil, but this thing I said earlier, if Yeke group and Acarious group were going to meet, Moreover were going to be upside down. It was not going to be good for that country. This is the point I'm making. Because Yeke group will not sit down, people chose to, and they will not
himself would have been in question. Because the group that I saw behind Yeke, they were almost 2 or 3 times that group that was behind Acarious Gray. So the safety of the both men would have been in question. But you see, again, this is a lesson to be learned, that before you take certain decisions, I'm sure Gray in his mind, I mean, I have no record, or I've not heard any record of Gray that he's been crazy before, that he got mental problem, unless that is not clear. But I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he's stupid either. So I know somewhere in his mind, since yesterday, since this thing happened, somewhere in his mind, he's saying, no, what I did was wrong. Even though I want to reflex my political muscle, but the manner in which I did it was wrong. So I know he's been regretting. You know, our conscience is the best judge that we have. Your conscience will always tell you, don't do this. Some people say, you know, something was in my head telling me, it's your conscience. Don't do this, do it.
But that's what we call the craziness, when your conscience tells you to do something crazy. Then we diagnose you as crazy, because no normal person will do something like that. I mean, if you're a leader, you're a leader, you don't do something crazy like some guy who do it, or how they call it, a car wash or sushi board. This guy is a leader. You see, that's where the craziness came from. It means something mentally. He might have mental problem because of do something like that. I don't get it, Linford.
Well, viewers, the number to call is the numbers to call is on the screen there. So, or you can call me. They are all WhatsApp numbers, so you don't need to worry about your if you're in Liberia or anywhere of any part of the world, you can call us, and you can give your view on this issue. But let's put up this there's a comment here by Alexander Boniface. Let me take down these numbers, okay? And then let's go to the comment by Boniface. Now he said, Honorable Gray challenged Honorable Yeke, saying Yeke does not have the balls to enter the university. But Yeke did enter though, but then Gray has already left. So I think Gray should have just waited for Yeke. Since he challenged Yeke, he should have waited. And then we're going to see whose power was greater.
You see, this is what I was saying.
Yeah, because I mean,
exactly what I was saying.
It was comparing now, right? Comparing your muscle to the other muscle.
This is what I was saying. And this what started, it's not going to end. It's going to happen again somewhere else.
You think so?
It will happen because look, just see go down. Say you see that? Say who was rejoicing?
So yeah, it could be because I saw most of the
Right.
newspaper head. In fact, I have most of the newspapers. My friend usually send me here, and most of the newspaper the kind of headline they carry, it was very sensational. About this this whole thing. Somebody say, soup succumb to Akara Gray overpower soup, and blah blah blah. But I can tell anybody. I can tell anybody that this is not the last time. And if Honorable Gray is smart enough, he will not try it anymore. Because I'm telling you, we don't wish for that. But we live during the wartime, we live in war zone, and we saw what was happening. Where you attack the people, you kill somebody, and you think you finish taking victory. But when they come back, it's even stronger. So I know he wouldn't want to venture there. Maybe like you said, Paul, this is not the last time, but it may not happen in similar fashion or manner. Okay? But we don't hope that anything like that will happen.
Therefore, I say it will happen again. The reason this is a pattern of this government. Because what? Listen now, you remember when Tada Ure was running against Abu Kamara, you remember what happened in the Lokintown area?
Yeah.
You remember District 13? The same thing happened. This election year, Acarious Gray then will do the same thing. They don't learn. These are people, they are violent people, they don't learn. They will do the same thing. And as much as they keep doing it, people will get angry more to kick them out. So they will do it again. This particular government is a government that behaves like opposition. When we were small, every time we heard things in the news about opposition, it was Eddie and all that were causing a problem. But this thing around, this government create a problem. I mean, think on it. If that Jefferson Kochi today, that Sir Joseph on the other side, that Acarious Gray, it might be somebody that Moba Molu, somebody else will do something crazy. This government is just a government of crazy people. Think on it carefully. You governing the day, you the sheriff of the day. The sheriff go and misbehave. The opposition, this government is glad that we don't have that opposition back then, like the Ellen Johnson and all of the backup Matthew. Lapel can be complete chaos. I'm telling you this because they go and create problem. Back then, it was the opposition that would create problem. You see, the opposition back then will come up with a thing they call react to stir all things. But this government, they themselves doing it. So I don't understand that. So what I'm saying, what Acarious Gray did, he rejoicing, they will do it again. Mark my word, it will happen. It's a government of trouble. You see?
But I can also assure you, like I said, again, we don't wish that anything funny or serious could happen. But like I said, from the war day experience, or those of us that were across the land, we saw a lot of things happening. If you come and hit the people and you take over that place, don't think you will settle. The next time when they come back, you will be removed. And
Right.
yeah, so if they are planning anything like this again, like I said, we're not hoping for anything like that. But there must be, or there shall be serious consequences, because people are not stupid anymore. And
Lincoln,
yeah.
the reason why I'm saying it will happen again,
Mhm.
we few days ago, there's death issue with Gloria Musu's daughter. Ain't finished. That problem still on the government. Jefferson Kochi and Tyler, these are people that Jerome Verdi bear on their back. That is issue ain't go away from them. The Mason boys, the issue ain't go away. The editor, that issue don't go away. Then in the mix of all the Akala Great decided to add more. So in a nutshell, what they're doing to themselves, that they're telling the people will harm your children, and those children will harm me. If you check some of those children that have been beaten, it was the very children that voted for them. So those very children now, their people will campaign against these people. They will do it again. They're not learning. They will do it. And mark my word, we're not hoping for them, but they will do it. Something will sparkle tomorrow because they have this thing say, oh, when something happened today, after 3 weeks, Liberians forget. They will go do something crazy again. And as they keep building up, all of those things that have happened, the Odell Sherman, how people, they will campaign against the government. The missing ball, the people will campaign against the ball. That's the eldest boys that were beating at the American embassy. There are people who will campaign against the government. What happened yesterday? They will campaign against the people. So they dig in their own grave every day and they won't learn. Something will happen again tomorrow. They'll go do something crazy. It will not be a Carlos Gray. It may be Jefferson Kochi again because they have the pattern of going causing trouble. Mark my word, somebody will do something crazy.
Well, like I said, we don't wish for any funny thing,
Yeah.
crazy thing to happen. But I think they should begin to know, especially with the history of the University of Liberia, where no government has ever challenged the University of Liberia and go without any repercussions. Things can happen at the University of Liberia that will lead to other things, and this is how it builds up. It starts small, small, small. When you look, it begins to tangle, 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 and
Exactly.
it grows out of proportion, and then we have the burden to bear. So I don't know if you have any other video, or if you do not have.
No, I don't have any video
Okay,
because it's every time I play the
yeah,
video, it get bored my blood. So, but
yeah.
what I wanted to say, I mean, there's let me see, who's this? Tabalish. Somebody wrote a Russian language here. Okay, my fellow Tabalish, Kadeda. This is right. You see in that link for?
Hmm. Can you read that Russian?
Yeah, I can read the Russian. That's it. Now, what he's saying here, we should stop encouraging poor students under their umbrella, right? That is the palabra halt he's talking about. Right. What he's right, but student will always be student.
Hmm.
Every university in the world, they have and different groups, different group. And I remember when I was in Kingston University, we had a Muslim group, we had a Christian group, we had this group for this, was different group that meet up all the time. And what happened with this group, Linfa, is that they usually put pressure on government. And I can say that for one. In the UK here, if you remember the David Cameron government, they came into coalition. So that coalition, they promised students that the Labour government by then have removed the free tuition for students. So Nick Clegg, when they promised students, say when they become governor of the day, they will restore that, but students will not be paying the tuition fee anymore.
Hmm.
Now, when it came into office, the government did they gave they went. They gave 320 to this. They gave a U10. And what the student did, the student took on the government. They did it in a way, all those campuses that they went around organizing, we put them out. And when time came, what they did, they went for Nick Clegg. He was the deputy prime minister at the time. For every time he appeared somewhere, the student would go after him. They even throw eggs on him. That how student will always be student. When they dissatisfied with you, they will always be student. They will boo you. They will do anything. That's how they went after that government. So student will all be under the Palaver Hall. They will discuss issue. They're not going to go away.
And there is one thing I hear people always say, which discredits the university itself or discredit the ability of the students at a university to reduce them to people who cannot learn or make decisions on their own. Every time the students do something, they say, oh, the opposition people paying their money, the opposition people telling them to, no, listen, hell no. These are mature men and women, Paul, before you even graduate from high school in Liberia, I remember when I was in high school, we had guys who had children already. So those are men, people who have been running their own life. And then they enter university, except now where, education has become so, but during our days, the youngest people you could find at the university were people who are in our early 20s. But we have people who are working with their children attending the university. So if you will look at people like that and say somebody is telling them to do what they do, so you discredit them, you reduce their thinking ability, you make them to appear as if to say they cannot make decisions for themselves, you make them to appear like they are just useless bunch of people. And those are people who you depend on tomorrow to run the affairs of the nation. So how in your mind will you say that these university students are being pushed or they are being forced to do this thing? Some how you call it, opposition politicians sitting down somewhere and telling them go and do this. For me, you discredit the university, you reduce the thinking ability of the students themselves, you make them to appear like they're nothing, they are just robots that anybody can use at any time.
But you see what happened and Linford? This government is a very interesting government. They said tuition free, right, for the student. If you made tuition free for the student, then why is it the student not happy with you? You took one of the burden off their parents. Is it tuition really free?
Another
Is it tuition really?
discussion.
So what the fact is what making the student very unhappy? This is the question. And this is where Acarious Grace and others supposed to come in. What make you unhappy? The students are there to listen to. They're not listening to the student.
I think the tuition thing is just one phase of it. But the students, I think most of their argument has been based around the government. The students are advocating on a general level. I don't think the students are being very selfish in this respect, where they say, okay, since the president, I listened to the other group, the PROSA group, they say the president gave them free tuition, and so that's the best thing that ever happened to them, and that you can credit that those are not students at the university.
Linford, you remember when Ellie was in office, it was a same student that blocked any convoy.
Ellie got down and talked to them.
She got down, she went on the campus and had a dialogue with them. What happened to this woman? What they can do? So it just tells you the incompetency of this government. That's the point I'm driving at. Because if they're good enough, if this student keep Joy Howard went over there, they boo her, she should have called the leaders. Let's hear from you what you're unhappy about. They've been going there. The student not happy. That's something get them not happy. Listen to them.
Yeah. Leadership is something that you cannot buy. leadership is something that is inherent. I mean, people are born with it. I remember, I still remember this thing when President, Prosa, uh, when President Ellen Johnson was coming to Norway in 2007, I mean 2011 to receive her Nobel Peace Prize. I was in Southampton, and the guys called me. The radio library at the time was Radio Library. There were not too many internet radio. So they said, my man, but since you part of us, and then the president is coming to your country, why you don't go and see if you can relay this into Liberia? I said, I got any gadget to do that. I said, just go, we'll find a way. Now, how can we met Douglas Fangalo and myself? We were the one that took umbrella for Ellen Johnson when the people put her down from the car that morning. They were raining for her to walk in the auditorium where we were having the program. And this guy, Joe, that night, Joe had a harbor. He said, you're writing a protest. Start sending money from Liberia to other country. And we were taking it for fun, but Joe did it. When anyone about to speak, every time she wanted to talk, Joe would shout and make noise and show the placard. And then she wanted to get mad. But then Joe shouted again and said, Madam President, you were protesting against other leaders throughout when we were small boy. Now I remember. Now I'm protesting against you here. Then she smiled. She said, okay, you know what happened? That is your method. Your man, what you say? Why are you protesting about? Then she said, my protest is very simple. I want you to tell the Liberian people, including your government officials, to start taking our money and sending it out of the country. Let people in the country use the money.
I was in the hall that day.
And I was all. So Ellen said, okay, you're getting your mention and let him protest. So you see, this is what leaders will do. I'm sure if it was Akara great in that hall, he will send the muscle guys to go bring down Joe and I'll put him out of the hall or do something. So you see, leadership is something that even if they force leadership upon you, it's just like, you're supposed to go to this party or you've been wanting to go to this party, you won't get clothes to wear. So even if they put tight coat suit on you, that ain't fit you, you got to face yourself in it to be able to walk, just to go to the party. Or if they put big coat suit on you that all your hands swallow, you can draw the hair up and manage to walk. So once you are a leader, you're supposed to put up that posture. You're supposed to make yourself to fit in the class of a leader. You can't be somebody. You can't be somebody who's supposed to be a leader and you're doing different things. So, but I think Paul, our time is going. So, there was this big question that we wanted to ask. In 2017 election, I don't recall the month. I don't recall the particular day, whether it was 2017 or 2016 before the election. But I remember Prince Y. Johnson, Senator Prince Y. Johnson of Nima County, he made a statement about George Weah. I don't know, Paul, if you remember this statement. He said, if you people elect Weah, the country will fight war. The country will return to civil war. I'm just paraphrasing, but I think I heard him say something like that. Did you ever hear him say anything like that?
It was before the 2017 election. Say if Liberian people elect Weah will return to civil war. Prince Johnson said that.
So I'm not wrong. So all the things that playing under Weah administration, you can clearly see that it's like a repetition of things that even led to the war that we fought in Liberia.
Yeah.
So is this, I don't know, should we call it prophecy or this statement by Prince Johnson? Is it bearing fruits? Is it coming to reality? What are you thinking about something like that?
To be honest, Linfo, that is the concern that a lot of people have. If Prince Johnson have worked with Weah, they were all in the Senate together, so he knows this person. And remember too, I don't know, Yeke Koloba, every time he go after Weah, he will use this word, say Weah supported the war. He supported the war, and I get record on him. Prince Johnson was one of the major players in the war. What Prince Johnson know, we don't know. Why would he come out to say that if you put this man there, we might return to civil war? It's something that Prince Johnson knew about Weah that nobody knows. So when Prince Johnson said that we are being elected, but since we are being in office, look at all the bad things that have been happening, and he never spoke on anything. The only time he spoke to talk about those two editors that were in the car, he said, "Oh, that boyfriend, girlfriend." See? So it's that Prince Johnson telling us that you expect that it will happen. Is that what going to happen? We don't know. Because up to now, the voter registration have not started. The window of doing it is not there. If there's people feel unhappy and they go to the election and they find out the result, not the result they wanted, will they go the other way? I don't know. So Prince Johnson knows something that we don't know.
Well,
It's a hard one, yeah.
but that I think that question is $1 million question in my mind,
It is.
because you know, and the same Prince Johnson. You see, Prince Johnson is somebody that people will say he's not to be trusted. But Prince Johnson, when he said his statement, when he made his statement rather, I think he knew, like you said, he knew somebody in a Weah body that we, the ordinary people, do not know. Inside the Weah frame, that body that we see, there is somebody in there that we do not know. Okay, so and Prince Johnson was close, and the same Prince Johnson went to also join him as a coalition to win the election. So I think I want to believe what he said is right, that Prince Johnson knew something about Weah that we do not know. I love the character or something about him. Now, you are president, even if you can't talk, even if you are bobo, that you can't talk, you will take action. You see a lot of things happening under your regime for 5.5 years, which is not long. 5 years will go like this, moving to 6 years now. But too many things are happening that if we stretch it, it can go over 20 years period. In that period, the things that have happened in 5 years' time under your regime, if we stretch it under normal circumstances, it will be 20 years span. And you have not said anything. I mean, you took oath to protect the people of Liberia. People are dying. You don't say anything. Your government officials, they go and brutalize people. They are physically seen. The Kwaji, he is physically seen in violence. You can't say anything. You I don't understand. You become mute. You don't live in a country and nothing they're doing concerns you. Man, Paul, I think I'm done for the night. And if you have any other thing to say, because I'm done. I mean, there's just nothing.
There's something I'm trying to look for here. It's funny because what you're talking about, it is quite amazing that because he does not speak. But one thing he said before, and I want to refer to this, what I kept saying, it will happen before when we talk about good governance is not there. And what and just to go back to what Acarious Gray and all of done, right? It's something that is part of the ruling establishment. So we should not be surprised. This thing could fling to be something. It will, the gas when you pour some, it's already burning and add more on it. It about to happen. Remember, you are talking about when Ellen came down from the when the student stopped her, she got out from her vehicle and went to engage the student. Remember that there was an incident we had. I think it was a Dole community, and a sedition were protesting. You remember what we had said? Our banner before, instead of addressing that young man concern. This is where leadership comes in. But he was telling him, once upon a time,
if you think you bala,
I'm more
bala than you.
So I don't know. I might find this. Hold on. I might find this. Let me see if
okay. Why are you looking for it? Let me get a couple of announcements.
Listen. I want you to listen keenly. Listen to me. Listen. Yo, my man. Ask anybody when you think Banana more than you. Listen. Listen. We live in Florida, Gibraltar area. We got respect for others. If you don't want to hear anybody speaking here, get outside. The next time the honorable is speaking and I hear anyone boo, you will get out. So listen and start causing noise. You understand? And the party that you represent, the CDC is not a party that they rule people. So if you wear a beret, a symbolizes peace in this country. So you must respect yourself. And don't think that you talk because somehow we are more tough than you. You understand? So let's.
So you see what I'm coming from? Leadership is missing. That bring.
Man,
Brother
Jerome,
Thomas,
man, you coming on late.
it's all
I
right.
know,
He can.
I know it's not a responsibility. It's not, you are not a
He's
cause saying they leave
frozen.
late.
He's frozen.
Yeah, but Paul, I mean, yeah, Jerome will get better. Yeah, go ahead.
So when the university students stopped any vehicle, she got off and engaged them. What's your concern? She spoke to them. They had a dialogue. She left. The students were happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That CDC rally they had in Clarendon. The young man was not happy. He was protesting, and that's why Weah came and say, "I was banner before." This is not leadership. It's where you ask the young man, "What's your concern?" This is where you show leadership. So I want to play this again because it's important. I'll play this. Let me see if.
Listen. I want you to listen keenly. Listen to me. Listen. Yo, my man. Ask anybody when you think Banana more than you. Listen. We live in Florida, Gibraltar area. We got respect for others. If you don't want to hear anybody speaking here, get outside. The next time the honorable is speaking and I hear anyone boo, you will get out. So listen and start causing noise. You understand? And the party that you represent, the CDC is not a party that they rule people. So if you wear a beret, a symbolizes peace in this country. So you must respect yourself. And don't think that you talk because somehow we are more tough than you. You understand?
So
I mean that a president will challenge one citizen. Or Paul, I don't know if you recall during the George Bush administration, I think the Iraqi war was going on. George Bush had a press conference where this Arab journalist took his shoe and threw it.
Yes,
and what did George Bush do? George Bush just plucked his shoe and then they secretly whisking away. And George Bush had the power. This is the president of the greatest country on earth. He could say your slaughtered army or your jail him for George Bush walk away. I mean, leadership, like I said before, leadership is inherent in people. People are born with leadership. And then some people, they run into leadership some kind of way. And those are the people who struggle with it. Like Weah is doing today. The brother is not a leader. I mean, to the point where you lead, I mean, even if you're leading a small group of people, you will have to talk to those people because you are at the top. And they look up to you for decision. But you lead the entire country. You can't talk to people. You can't, I mean, somebody have to explain this thing to me. Weah himself may probably have to explain it for me to understand, because I will not understand. Listen, I serve as Secretary General for the liberal organizations here. Every day we answer a question to people. People come in, new people that come in and joining the organization, they ask you to the whole financial report to them from the day you started. You got to talk to them, you got to encourage them. But you rule a country, and then you can't talk to the people. Your citizens die, you don't care, man. We in for something, and we need to get out of it. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with you, Linford. We're in it. And when the people make that judgment, when they made a sound decision,
well, I can promise you, but there is something in me. There is something about me. I become skeptical at times. But again, when I get convicted, some kind of way, my skepticism will just disappear. And I try to. There is something telling me that we can have me second term, and I try to move that spirit from me, and and make comparison that Weah is incumbent, Weah can use money, Weah have been talking to the people, so it could stand a chance. But then that thing in me that convicted me still tells me no. So I don't think I want to see it, but I don't think. I don't know.
So no, the thing is, what he's done, I think Gerald is in the background. You want to bring him on? Or is
to bring him up to whether his camera is off.
Okay.
He will come on.
So, the reason why he said something once, and I would love to play this.
That the people did not vote for him. I mean, did not do anything.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Doing anything, the people gave me a mandate, and they were with me from 2005 to date. We're all doing anything. I have done something. Trust me, I'll be re-elected.
Okay. He's right. He's right.
How?
He didn't do anything for them. He is right. And the people, they love of him because he played football, so they rewarded him. So he's right. You see, when you work hard for anything, you work for something, Linford, when you get it, you can misuse it. It's like I'm walking down the road and then I found $1,000 or £1,000. It will go the same day. I didn't work for it. So he is right. You see, he absolutely right. He didn't do anything for the people. Because people love him for the football he played. That during the Civil War, on a Sunday you put television on, you excited to see your countrymen on the field. That will bring some joy to you. So that love, people had it. By rewarding him, he is right. He didn't do anything for anybody. You see? And because he didn't do anything for people, so he got what he wanted. So now they abusing the power that he was given that he didn't work for. He abusing that power. And that's why the people must kick them out.
But
So
does he think at any time that he has a legacy to defend directors of so does he at any time
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Does he feel that I am in Cuban, I've been there for 6 years, okay, and I'm supposed to defend the things that I have done, or my administration's activity, I need to defend it? Does he think that way? What do you think? Because
hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we still hearing you.
You guys still getting feedback from me?
No, I think it's much better.
Okay, I think so. Much better. So, Lincoln, what Gerald is setting, or what I wanted to say, he's right to say that the thing he has now done, and he went, me and you can put money together and put some playground somewhere, And after grandpa will say that he done something for them with their own money, so he's right to say it. But the very people that he's talking about, there's unemployment, there's no jobs, they are beggars.
You see the question why I asked? Come in there now.
No, that's what I'm saying. I say
Yeah.
he's right to say what he's saying.
You see, because it's easy to say, sorry, the Liberian people,
Hello?
people do all the time.
Hello,
Yeah, we hear
sir.
you, Gerald.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's I don't know whether it's your air conditioner making up or there is a small sound but no echo. Um, but it's easy to say, yes, I didn't do anything, but now that the people have elected you, so what have you done? You say you have done something. What is it something?
But
So I
I
think
get,
the judgment lies with the Liberian people,
yeah.
and that judgment will be made, or that decision will be made at the ballot box. And whatever they say is what they will live with. You know,
Gerald is frozen again.
yeah, it's having
Yeah,
a little.
so Linford, he
Yeah.
done something.
Hmm.
And when I say he done something, and the people will remember, they will remember the 49 condominium, he did something.
Hmm.
They will remember the 16 billion Liberian dollar, the 25 million Liberian, the people will remember. They
Hmm.
will remember the death of all of those people that have not been uh, uh, investigated and come to conclusion. They will remember that. They will remember the university student that were beaten in front of the American embassy. The people will remember that. They will remember what Acarious great did yesterday. They will remember that. They will remember Jefferson Kochi on District 13. They will remember that. They will remember the incident with Teda Ure and Abu Kamara. They will remember that. They will
But
remember
it's
those women that protested when it stoned them.
when it's
They
thrown
will
there.
remember the elementary students that decided to
Yeah.
protest and they whipped them. The people will remember all that and they will reward them. They will remember.
But
So he did something.
it's amazing that this Acarious creates something. Jefferson Koichi's name is not mentioned.
There's a reason.
Why?
All right. I told you, said the pattern of this government is kind of unique. There
Mm-hmm.
must be somebody that will come in to divert the whole thing for somebody need to rest.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlos Gray came in for Jefferson Coach need to rest. So it'll be somebody else will work on tomorrow. That's how they operate. Let's take the tension off. I will create a scenario. That's exactly what's going on here. So today they're talking about Carlos Gray. You won't hear Jefferson coaching name. Then tomorrow something will spark again. Then his name will surface.
Yeah, I remember it was the Nathaniel Magee, it was
Uh,
the all
the
of Blue.
Serena
Now it's
Seafor.
yeah. No, but I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah.
Gerald has tried, but he cannot make it, so we need to wrap up. And so, folks, you listen to what
So
we've been discussing.
before we wrap up, please
Uh-huh.
talk about this quickly before we wrap up. And
Yeah, I was thinking about that announcement, though.
yeah, please talk
Yeah,
about
put
this
it up.
before we wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah, folks, all the thing we're talking, we can sit here and cry whole day. You can sit in your home and cry whole day. My friend, God is not going to come down to change Liberia for us. God will only provide the ways, and we will have to recognize that way, how to change Liberia. Because if Liberia changes real good, it's going to benefit everybody. You know, the Bible says the ring falls on the good and the bad. All the people, the Kweji, the Acarious Grill, the this and that, they all, if Liberia becomes good, they will enjoy. Even though they are enjoying now, but if Liberia becomes good, they will even enjoy better than us. So, in order to do that, we don't expect God to step down and come to do it, but God will send us the means. And if you look around, we are going to elections. You got to look at the candidates that are in this race. You got to look at what you think they can present to you. And we live in a world that is revolving around technology. We live in a world now that is open to everybody. And in order to interact with the rest of the world, you have to have that connection, that contact. And I will tell you that women knows the two who knows you. So you look for somebody who has that contact, who will be able to do that connect. Mr. Cummings has proven to be that person. And so Liberians all around are talking to Mr. Cummings. Liberians in Europe invited Mr. Cummings last year in Germany. In July, he came, he was with us. Now we have invited him again. He's coming to Sweden this trip around. He's coming to the Scandinavia, specifically in Stockholm in Sweden, but it's about Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Finland, all the northern countries. So if you have the opportunity, he will be here on the 14th of April to the 16th. So if you have the opportunity, you can come. You don't have to be citizen or ANC supporter. You don't have to let Mr. Cummings. But say he's running to rule your country, you can come and ask him your difficult question. The things that you've been wondering about this man. For those of you who do not like him, who feel that he's not qualified, come and ask him, what makes you think you can rule my country and be my president? Okay? And if you are a sympathizer of the ANC, then better stay, you can come to have the occasion so that we can welcome the stand-up bearer of the CPP to the Scandinavia. He will be here to talk to Liberians of all walks. He's not going to talk to only ANC. He's not just Weah that will talk to only citizens. He's talking to all Liberians. So make it your business to come on the 14th, come the 13th, because they will be there. So come the 13th if you can come. If you can come the 12th, come. Everything is set. It's only for the program to be held. So Paul, that's I think that's about the program. And Paul, you were in Germany, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was great being there. I think Gerald is back. Let's hear from him first.
Yeah, let's see if
Gerald?
Oh.
Yeah.
You are adding him? I didn't know.
Okay.
Oh no.
He's setting up.
Hello.
Yes. Talk to us for the next 5 minutes if you can.
Okay, you are good. Just say anything that's on your mind.
Well, sorry for joining you guys late. I was running home when I bumped into the program and I was just listening. Look, concerning the issue at the University of Liberia, both parties are condemned the action of both parties. Let's put it at an equilibrium. If the students had issue with Honorable Gray and he said he was coming on the campus, quote unquote, to have lunch, let him come. Create an avenue to have dialogue. Likewise, you, Honorable Gray, you go in there, create an avenue, a former student leader, create an avenue where there will be this discourse to understand or find means to reconcile our differences, but to make the campus of the university a Getty Street or a Babla. I strongly condemn that. And the sad thing there is, as a former student of the University of Liberia, this thing has been an old age problem when students, leaders, sometimes put their people under the bus. They put their people under the bus in the sense that we had that same issue. I recall it was done prior to the World War I, World War II, and III, when our student leaders, the very people who said they were advocating for us, when the tension was on the campus that day, they left us and ran away. At the end of the day, some of them surfaced in Ghana and they returned. They were given jobs in Madam Salif administration. When there were issues on that campus, the Gafan, the Socrates, all the guys who used to sit on the Palaver Hall, the University of Liberia, and talk, the big talk, couldn't come to defend us or promote the well-being. So all my days there, I never used to support the body politics on the campus. Neither as a journalist, I never gave people the opportunity to sit in the studio to talk with me because of their ideology. But looking at what transpired, we must call space a space. The University of Liberia campus is not a ghetto. The University of Liberia campus is not the place for people, whether you are a presidential candidate or you're a senator, a representative, or a legislator. It's not a place for people to flex their muscles for power or the authority. That's the place you go to dialogue, exchange of ideas. So, I mean, the both parties, they are in error, serious error, and I condemn their action.
Okay,
and,
yeah. I'll hold you right there, and I'll differ with you. I agree, we all condemn the action. It's not good, it was wrong, but I don't equally wrong. If I was giving a scale to weigh with gravity of the event, I will place a greater responsibility on Honorable Gray for several reasons, few of which I will name. Now listen, you know, I think even in a court of competence or competent jurisdiction, every crime have a punishment that commensurate. Okay. So if you and I went somewhere to go rob, and I was the principal mayor to do the robbery, and I tell you, Gerald, stand to that gate and see if somebody is coming so you can alert me. And if the people came and caught me inside the bank, robbing the bank, and they also noticed that probably you were there serving as my guy, the punishment, though the two of us did the same thing, but the punishment might not just be the same. One of us might carry a lesser punishment. Okay? Now, I'm saying this to say that Honorable Gray, in this respect, he proposed to go on the campus. And the students said, no, we do not want to see you. We do not want you to come here. And Honorable Gray is not in the same caliber or the same situation, the same condition, the same position as the students. Those are students. They do not have any effect on what government does. They may talk, they may act, but their action cannot bring a government into any disrepute. But you, Honorable Gray, you are lawmaker. You are government official. To the point that if you say you are going on a university campus and the students say no, and you serve on the board of the University of Liberia, all you had to do, connect to the student leaders and tell them, so listen, I wanted to come. He said no. But how can we meet? Create a dialogue. But for you to force it and say, I'm going there, and even amass forces of strong men to take them on the campuses of the University of Liberia, there's where I differ with you. Yeah, we condemn the act.
But here is another thing, Olimfo. Why you still in flight, right? Here is another thing. When was the last time we stopped people from coming on the campus of the university? When was the last time?
There will always be the first time for everything. There will always be the first time for everything. So
even though yes, their action, yes, his action, he as a leader and a representative in whose constituency the university, you found the university, right? I think one thing he needed to do was to liaise with the University of Liberia administration to see if they could find a common ground. But what's now? when you have people, I've been down there before. when you have people who have different motives and their ideology is not in conformity with the institution policy, then you have problem. Then you have serious problem. Yes, Honorable Gray, as a lawmaker, a sitting lawmaker, people called him. I listened to the different narrative that he was asked not to go there because there was going to be tension. But these guys are used to that kind of behavior, so he was going there to exhibit the same behavior of the students.
Did he have to really do that?
No, there's no need to do it. So you as a leader must set precedent. If he was not going to go there like that, if you are going to stand down and say, I'm not going there, people are going to hail Honorable Gray.
Right.
People are going to hail him and say, oh, man, Acarious Gray got his behavior right, but on this note, we must applaud him for this. Find another means to find a common ground to dialogue. And the University of Liberia administration too should be held liable too, because they are there to provide education for the students and security for them as well. If you know that this thing will build up tension, and you talk to, whether they talk to Representative Gray or not, call the Liberian National Police and say, look, we need security here because we don't think that this will be a peaceful atmosphere. But they didn't do so.
The university, what they did in that direction was to suspend classes in a bid to make sure that all the students could either go home, leave the campus.
But Lenfa, do that before a day, man. You saw previous incident, okay? The one with the vice president, she was booed. The former solicitor general was booed. And you see Acarious Gray coming saying, I'm coming there to have lunch, knowing the nature of Acarious Gray, the kind of person he is. Don't allow the students to come to school a day and say we'll suspend classes. Do it prior to that day, but they didn't do so. So for me, I condemn all of them. I condemn them because look, our peace now is fragile. We have a fragile situation in the country. Anything can explode. Anything. Honorable Gray going there with talks and the students themselves portraying, that talkish attitude is bad. Anything could happen yesterday in Liberia. People are looking for opportunity to perpetrate evil.
Gerard, you are right. Yeah, so I agree with you. This is what I kept saying. Yeke Koluba went over there yesterday, and if those two groups are going to meet yesterday, we will not be talking what we're talking here.
No.
That is a recipe for disaster to return to the bad old days. And people looking at this thing and they sitting there and say, oh, Acarious Gray, for heaven's sake, he's a leader. He can go, he has his own security. He can go, let a student boo him and have a dialogue with him. Why would he carry a group of people behind him?
Seriously, yeah. And it's sad. So this is a prelude. This is a prelude to the upcoming election. One journalist in here in America always say the 7th month man. I always say things around the 3rd month and the 7th month. All throughout the 2017 election, I only come out during the 3rd month and the 7th month to say, look, between the 3rd month and the 7th month, these are the things that will happen. So people who listen to me preach will say, Pastor Cummings said these things. We will be like this. This is just a prelude to things to come. Because the people we have in administration, the citizens themselves, and the young people, it's like the more we have the proliferation of ghettos in the country, the more lawmakers or presidential candidate or people will go to these people and bring them. I bet you 99% of the guys who follow Representative Gray yesterday are not students of the or were not students of the University of Liberia.
Of course not.
Yeah, because their action can tell. I can't recall why I was down there when we boo a leader. I can't recall why when I was there when we throw stones. There were heated debate, argument on the Palava Hall, but to resort to this point is scary though. And our leaders must not take this thing lightly. This is the prelude to the actual movies that will occur soon in Monrovia if time is not taken. Because you see, by this time, you have not heard anything from the president of Liberia. You remember the situation when people said we will get in the street right after President Taylor said Yahweh, Yahweh. The next day they said they will get in the street, and he said he used a harsh word that if your mind born you good, then get in the street. By this time, you expect this president to say something to kind of calm the situation down and say, I need to meet with the student leadership. I need to meet with, all parties, or send a mediating team to kind of find a dialogue. Take it from me or not. October 10th. Before October 10th, we'll shake. Because right now, this situation is volatile, it's chaotic. People see this and they go with impunity. The next time you see a situation, it might be in an electoral district. And look, right now, Honorable Caldwell, Honorable Gray, they need to stand down. They need to stand down. On a serious note, they need to stand down. And the Liberian people must demand that they stand down. Our presidential candidates or presidential aspiring and the religious leaders need to talk to these people to stand down. Anything can happen. Look, Linford, you being in the country, Paul, you being in the country, anything can happen. Look, for those of us who stayed there from 1989 to World War I, World War II and III, we know when we see the sign on the wall, it's clear. Anything can happen. The religious leaders, the presidential candidate, the market women, the students, they all need to call these people to stand down, because the president will not speak to these things. He will not say a word. Only a few lawmakers will be talking, and they're talking in the corner. That's the funny thing about these people. They're talking in the corner. Some of them will come and use this situation as a political trump card for them to make themselves look like gods in the eyes of the people.
Yep, that's true. And this is what I was alluding to earlier, for that what happened is not going to go away, it's going to happen again. And mark my words, that Acarious and Yeka Koluba, they will meet again.
And you know one good thing? Let's look at the historicity of the CDC. Every time there is an election process, CDC will create a situation to put fear in the minds of the people.
Yeah.
CDC is noted for that.
Yeah, tactics.
That are the tactics, that the techniques, they're good at it, they know how to use that strategy. They did it. The only thing, Madam Salif was a smart old lady, and she had some ruthless guys in the security sector, but they were quietly operating and dealing with them through the peacekeepers. So this is just a prelude to the movies that we will watch 20 October election. This is just a president who will not say anything. A father in the house where his children are throwing stone at each other will not say anything. But mark my word, Sunday he will be at the Fokeklan church. Senator Johnson will be at his church. or the political opportunists will be at their different platforms and they'll use this opportunity. I think the students, if they love themselves, they love their lives, and they want to see a better country, let's do it at the ballot box. Let's change these guys at the ballot box.
But I think that's the greatest message here, that whatever our anger is, or whatever our dissatisfactions are, whatever our grievances are, we can settle it ourselves. We don't need to take it on to anybody, because nobody's willing to. No, when you are in the shoes and the shoes is burning you, or the shoes are burning your two legs, the outsider do not feel it. When they see you walking, they say they're bluffing. You're not bluffing, but you're really feeling the pain. You're really feeling it. So the only way you can do it is to remove that shoes. So I think we have the opportunity, and we've waited for 6 long years, and the final day is here, October 10th. How far is it? Almost on 7 months. So we'll be wrapping on now. So Paul, I think we just go around the table. We say what we have to say. It could be a recommendation. It could be like Jerome just give this good recommendation or warning to people. And I would like us to leave here tonight telling the Liberian people what they want to hear, and appreciate the fact that we had Jerome on here, and he made a good point when he said the religious leaders should take control of the situation, because when anything happens, that few groups of people will run to religious leaders or our foreign friends, but it has not reached the level of our foreign friends. And talking about the religious leaders, I think just one video I saw when Acarious grew on the campus, I think there were some religious people there, and they called him and he sat down with them and they talked. And I think that one of the reasons why this thing did not escalate, that even though there were some skirmishes, but it did not escalate to that point, because the moment he got there, the religious leaders called him and they had to go and talk. And I was hearing some of his supporters saying, when the people threatening that if Acarious Gray come here, if Honorable Gray come here, they will kill him, where were the religious leaders? Your leader man, don't go to what we came to do. Can you imagine the statement? So that was pure truth. So the religious leaders and those decision makers will have to take complete control of the situation. So yesterday, sorry, when I say Ella, it means Gerald, you want to leave us with your final?
Man, like always, great show. I trying to take us a break from the Liberian politics and wait a little bit. But when I said hi, you guys said, "My man, you need to come on." I wanted to stay away from this.
One parable, they say the witch that used to kill. All the witch for him, you can see this much scary. You want to pray for?
Yeah, lay back a little bit and see how this thing will play out. Because man, Linfa is
your silence could be
is sad. Look, it's sad.
As the people who are doing a bad thing, so.
Yeah, it's like criminals walk into your neighbor's house and you know that you can stand up to do something. Sometimes it's hard though. It's hard. Sometimes I just want to walk away from it and say, Lord, it's the people's thing. Let them do what they need to do, but you can't say so. And that's why we took a side. And some people got problem issue with me for the stand I took, but I look at all of the candidates. I said, Cummings will be the guy. He can be the best person to change this, because we work with some of those people who we see around. We work in the inner cycle. We see their different operation. We know their move. We know when they're moving. We know that they are in that corridor and they're moving. So, man, I want to say to you guys, keep up the good work. Even though I wanted to run, but my campaign team said the money not enough, so we'll try another year. But thank you, man, Paul and Linford. Thanks so much, and to your viewers as well.
Thank you. Yeah. So Linford, yeah. The thing, what happened yesterday, to summarize, it's not the end. The Ross said it well. It's going to happen. You see, when one group of people feel violence is their strength, that's the way they want to do it. They will always go that way. They did it. They got Abu Kamara elected. They did it in District 13. They got another person elected. Violence is their way of doing things. And now people like Yeke Koluba and others, they also understand that violence. So this election, we should keep our finger crossed. We should pray because what happened is just the beginning. There's more to come. And our people need to be prepared. The father of the land will not say a word. And if somebody who keeps silent, he encouraged that. These guys know they're going out. They're not going to go out easily. They'll go out with everything. We all need to pray for our people, for a better Liberia. And this is where I comes in today to say, look, when they talk about the opposition unity, it's only one person in that opposition that need to do the right thing. And that one person is the 90-year-old man who have served his nation. It's about time that he step aside and say, look, for a better Liberia tomorrow, I'm going in my retirement home. Let the young people fight and do it. And for the bad government we get, we're not even supposed to even think of them by re-electing them. They're not even sort of come closer to what we call second round. This thing should be between Mr. Cummings and Tewan Gonglo. Not no other people. And that's why I'm asking the old man to kindly step aside. It's about time. He age, he health, he must just sit down. So, Uncle Joe, I just beg you for the sake of Liberia, let the young people redeem like Liberia. So we should all pray for our country. Because there'll be violence. They beat young people all yesterday. Literally lying in hospital. They may die. We don't know. And we don't want to encourage them, but we just pray for our country. Until our leaders see sense. Those who claim to be leaders, they're supposed to do the right thing. So on that note, I'll just say thanks to our viewers for being with us. We're always here and we're on the online radio, the bottom line. You can download our app. It's 24/7. Just tap in the bottom line Liberia separate word. Our logo will pop up. You can download it. We're also on MyTuning. The bottom line Liberia is 24/7. So on that note, I would say thanks to you all for being with us. And thank you so much, Linfa, for hosting us as always.
Well, finally, we like to say that Liberia is the only country we have. Liberia has experienced a lot for the past 30, 35, 40 years going. And I think even if a child was born in 1990, that child should be some 33 years old.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, like my daughter, and that child should be a responsible person now, having their own children. So we left this war scene for a very long time, and I think we should put behind us all of the traumas that we brought from the war. We should put behind us all of the bitterness that we brought from the war. And the thing that really surprises me is that the young people, the very young people, most of the people I saw yesterday in that video, I was trying to estimate their age. They will be between, if I'm not mistaken, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26. There were some older guys. But these 24, 25 years old people, there were people who were born after the war. So, you know, they shouldn't have that posture of the war. They shouldn't have brought with them any inheritance from the war days to say, well, they fought war, because if they were born during the wartime, they shouldn't, they were baby, they shouldn't carry anything from the war to say, yeah, the war affected them. But it is as it is.
Mm-hmm.
All we can do is we pray that, people who are wise, who are at the top of decision making, will make the most wisest decision they can make so that we can save the country. We've had several protests, save the nation, save the state, do this, do that, without suffering, all these things. But the only thing that we can do to actually bring that sanity to the country is to think wisely and to make the wisest decision. And this is the opportunity for us, especially the voters. When you go at the polls, you don't want to elect people who their citizens will die in a mysterious way, and they
Yeah.
look in the faces of the family and tell them that your daughter and they met or the other men were having sex in the car and they died. Even crazy people will not do that. We all grew up. I've seen a lot of crazy people. I don't see crazy people go sit in the car and have sex and die. Crazy people, even if you run behind a crazy man, you know danger. Crazy man knows danger, you run. Okay, so uh, we hope that nothing will escalate, and let our opposition leaders be very wise in handling this issue so that the situation with the biblical story about the two women and the child will not occur, where they will have to cut the child into half. Because when they cut the child into half, the real losers will be the opposition that think that they want to do the best to save the country. The other people, they are already damaged the country, so they don't care. They are like drowning men, they're looking for somebody to get drowned with. So on
Yeah.
that note, I would like to say the decision is yours to make. All of the voters in Liberia and our viewers continue to share our video, and always you are welcome to be part of the show. We come on every Tuesday, and we have a lady section at on Wednesday, and then on Friday is it. We have another program, the business hour, and then we come back to Tuesday again with the usual political edition of the program. So, and Paul and I are always here with the political, along with Jemima and the rest of the crew with the political edition. You know, this is what makes the show good. We mix it with business and whatever. So, Paul, it was cool having you here this evening. And I don't know if you have any news for me. Like, what is your schedule like next week? What or you want me to remain like that? I should not know anything happening, right?
Well, man, if anything, we're having a show on Friday. So Friday will be
Okay,
here with another edition. So yeah,
okay, okay.
and
Yeah, we take from
we
there.
seem to get a guest on Friday, so we can add
Wow.
flavor to the program. Yeah,
Okay.
and we ask our viewers to always be with us. It's good to have them here, and yeah, keep following us. We're growing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're growing.
we're based in Europe, so yeah.
Well, so on that note, Paul, you want to take us home?
Yes, on this note, because it have to do with the University of Liberia students
Hey,
that
guess what? I heard a music yesterday in one of the video. They played,
ah
they said, yeah, here. I know
yeah,
that.
so based on that, and the student were they were in battle with the ruling establishment. So we just hear what they got to say. Maybe they will call our father, the president, to speak on Sunday. So Sunday will be
Yeah,
list will be he will go to the church. Maybe I might go to that church to listen to his sermon, and then
hopefully.
maybe he may tell our colors grade to back down, or maybe he may suspend our color grade, or give our color grade more ammunition to go out there. Remember, those arms that were brought into the country too,
Mm.
we don't know what the arms are, what are they preparing them for the election, we don't know yet. So it's something we got to look
Well,
at on
it's
Friday.
it's very simple. They want power in that rocket science. The
Yes.
last group that was seen with the arm were the police. So the police have the,
Oh, the police have it.
yeah,
Yeah, but
anything
then
happen, we hold the police
on Friday we
responsible.
discussed, because there were arms, the same arm were they discovered the arms in some armed robbery hands in the Dwa Zone district on Fridays, gone Friday. So it's something that they're very armed that were
Yeah,
displayed.
but
So how did
I heard somewhere on, okay, like on Spoon's talk, they said it was a toy gun.
no, it's not Toy Gun, and not the Toy Gun one. I said these guys were caught. There were three people, and there were three.
Yeah, but that's the three people I'm talking about. They
This
said
the
they were
snapper
toy
weapon
guns.
and all.
Yeah, they said they were toy guns.
All right, we'll get into it. Whether it's Toy Gun, but police have not come out to say it
We'll
yet.
find out. We'll find out.
Yeah. So on that note, I will say good night to our viewers. It's good
Yeah.
you guys view. So I'll leave you with a beautiful song, which is the number one hit on the University of Liberia campus. Listen and stay tuned, and we'll see it again on Friday.
When